Hey fellow videographers, I just want to come on here and give you guys some encouragement because I know we have all felt the imposter syndrome, but like, what are some things you would tell your younger videographer self to encourage them to keep going, or what things they could have tried differently, or what things to just completely avoid altogether. But hopefully these are encouraging to you, and let's get into it. Probably the biggest one that I hear from anywhere I go to, on Facebook, on YouTube, or whatever, is just go out and shoot. It doesn't matter what, just go out and shoot and practice and keep doing it over and over again. And not just shoot it and edit it and make the video, but share it with people. Get that feedback. Write, shoot, edit, repeat. Isn't that Film Riot's mantra? Write, shoot, edit. I have the shirt that says write, shoot, edit, repeat. That's from Film Riot. If you don't watch them, guys should definitely go check them out. That's also another tip as well. But yeah, just go out and shoot. Just do it. One that I am now in and didn't learn for a while is really watch other people's style and figure out what you like. Go on to Letterboxd, I think it's Letterboxd, and find all those movies you like, and find the directors that are shooting those and what makes you like those things. So really dive in and figure out, why do you like what you like? Video making, filmmaking, whatever you call yourself or whatever you call what you do, it is not a solo sport, and it often feels like that. So my word of advice is to encourage you to find your community. Find the Facebook group or start your own. I, here in the upstate of South Carolina, started my own group called Film Bar Monday because I didn't know where they were or how to connect with them. And I didn't know the numbers, or you can find jobs through this stuff as well. But we started Film Bar Monday, Greenville, and I've met tons of people in the community, and they are there, and they're in the same boat. They're like, where is everybody? So they may have found a little small niche, but not the greater community. You need to find people that you can share your scripts with, share your movies with, and get actual feedback, not just judgment. So find your people and work with them and learn from them and all that great stuff. It is not a solo sport. Double your prices. Maybe not double, but don't cut yourself short. I see all the time people are like, oh, I'll edit for very, very cheap. I'm looking for some extra cash. Maybe you're looking for some extra cash because you're very, very cheap. Believe in yourself and know that you're probably better than you actually think you are. I held myself back for a very long time thinking that I'm not as great as those people I'm seeing on Instagram and YouTube. You don't have to be. Period. You do not have to be as great as them. The Instagram reality versus actual reality. I just made a little heart for you guys. Along with raising your prices, there's a certain level of trust. Other people will think that people are paying that amount. And so if they think they're paying that amount, then they'll think that's the normal price. And they'll also think that you probably are fairly skilled. Raising your price will actually encourage businesses to hire you. Maybe not too high because they can't afford it if it's a smaller business. They see something that's too cheap, they're like, that's below what I'm looking for. Especially even if you go into like Facebook Marketplace and I'm looking to buy a table, I can set a price range to $200 to $300. So if you're trying to undercut everybody, I may miss out on that $75 table because I'm looking at this range because that's what I'm expecting to pay, or vice versa. Don't feel like you have to take every gig. You can say no if you don't like it, or if it doesn't seem right, or if it's too low, but you just want to help them out. You don't have to. You can say no. One, there's other people, and two, they also need to learn that maybe they can't get away with those prices, or maybe the style of video that they're asking for is not something they should be asking for, or maybe even it shouldn't be a video in the first place. There's all kinds of reasons to say no, but don't be afraid to say no. Get a variable ND filter if you don't have an ND filter built into your camera. It will save you a ton of a headache. Instead of having to change all your settings, you just give it a little twist and you're back into settings. So you're good. It saves a lot of time. You may need two different ones or whatever, but get one that's bigger than your lens filter size, and then get a step-up ring. So that way that can fit on all of your different lenses, regardless of whatever filter size they may take. It will save you, I promise. Gear does and does not matter. If you are a great storyteller, the gear doesn't matter. However, there is also, if you don't have 4K and the world's moving to 4K, there's a little sense of, maybe you should jump up to a newer camera to get 4K. The one that I would argue the most above anything else is audio. Having really good audio equipment will make or break your videos, because people are okay with bad, crappy video, but they're not okay with bad, crappy audio. I always say audio is 51%. Some people say 50-50. I say 51 because it's just slightly more important than the actual video. If you see somebody make something, even on Instagram, go make it yourself. Learn how they did that. Go practice it. If you see Film Riot put out a video about a certain technique or whatever, go try it. And this goes along with what I said earlier about just go out and shoot. But hand in hand with that, it's about practicing certain techniques and finding out what works for you. I know security about jumping into this full time is a big risk, and it really helped being married and having her income as well. But I would say if you've got the opportunity, if you think you have the opportunity to go full time, do it. Build that community up first. Build up some experience first, doing some things on the side. But once you think you're there, take the plunge. I waited way too long, and I should have gotten into this a lot sooner. It's not a regret. It's just a realization. I don't regret not getting into it sooner. I just realized I definitely probably could have, if that makes any sense. Storytelling, storytelling, storytelling. If you can't tell a story, then maybe this isn't for you. That is probably the most defining key of a good videographer. You can definitely make videos, especially if they're kind of just like educational videos where they're just laid out. You can still be a videographer and an editor and all these things. But as far as narrative work or creative work, that's where the storytelling is going to come in. So there's still need for videographers to do some of the other stuff, but for the creative storytelling, if you are just not good at storytelling, then maybe that's, maybe go the other route. You will definitely, absolutely, without a doubt, buy equipment you do not like or use. It just happens. You think you're gonna want it, it's the newest thing, or it's a certain style of gear. I bought a cheap version of it, so or whatever reason, it just did not work out the way. So it's gonna happen. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't fret it. Just move on. Organize your files. Figure out a file structure. If you need me to share mine with you, put that in the comments, let me know. I'll be happy to do that. But create a file structure system that works for all of your projects and keep it that way. So you can always find and always know where things are, and obviously backing up your files multiple times on different drives, not just having one copy, because if that dies, which has happened very stupidly, I don't have it with me, but I have a light that has a magnet attachment on the very back of it, so I can set it up. It's really cool. But at the same time, I put a hard drive right on top of it. Gone. Stupid, silly little things that just happen. So I don't think it's not gonna happen. That's kind of two notes there, but yeah. Only work for free if it's something you want to do, never if they offer it. They will ask you to come and do this for a benefit or whatever like that. I would say if the zoo asked me, I like animals, so if the zoo asked me to shoot something for free, I probably would. But if it was just a charity that I had no connection with and they're asking me to support them, I'm not gonna do that for free. That's not something that I would offer myself as free. So keep that in mind when taking on free work. Maybe earlier on when you're trying to build yourself up at the very beginning, but after that, only what you want to do. However, along with that, I do offer a discount if I'm trying something new that I've never done before. So if I'm not skilled in that, then I want them to I'll tell them, like, this is not something I do all the time. I'll give you guys a discount if you're willing to work with me and practice with me, basically. So I will do things at a discount for some cases like that, but not free. It's still my time, still my work. I'm still very skilled on a lot, 80% of the process, maybe just not that one thing. So if you have a local camera store, absolutely freaking support them, okay? Go buy stands, lights, lenses, whatever you can from them. That's a personal preference thing. B&H is awesome, and you can order a ton of things from them or use gear. But I have a local camera store. They have a used gear section you can go through and look at. They've got all the other gear that you can put your hands on and practice with. Or in addition to that, they also rent. So I would definitely encourage renting anything before you buy it, but also just maybe not buying things, maybe just renting things. You can spend $2,000 on a lens, or you can rent it for 25, 30 bucks, whatever. Do not shoot the backs of heads. No one cares or connects with the back of people's heads. Occasionally, like if you've got a crowd and you've got a stage and you could just have a sea of back of people's heads, okay, that's understandable. But if you are shooting around in a wedding and you realize all you're getting are backs of people's heads, then move, change your position, whatever you need to do, get faces. People connect with faces and smiles and eyes. It's just a whole person right here, not here. So move. It is important to learn about all the different areas of filmmaking, but you don't have to master them. There are people who master them. The reason I would say learn them is because maybe that's the field you want to get into. Maybe you started in camera, but you actually ended up really good at pulling things together and you want to be a producer. Or maybe you like the crafting of light. Or maybe you find it soothing just to work with audio and really creating audio sound design and in editing process. So try these things and find out if you like them. Just like what people go to college to try out things or whatever. But definitely rely on people who do those full-time, professionally, whatever, to do those fields. Don't half-ass it yourself. Get a professional. That encourages the teamwork. That can get someone else paid as well if you've got a gig. And it just spreads the love, really, and it makes your project better and gets you more work in the end anyways. So why not? School is helpful because it gets you hands-on with a lot of things and you come out of it with stuff to show, and you also build some network from that as well, but it is not necessary. A lot of people I've known say, oh, you went to film school, that's cute, but what can you actually do? So it's, have something to show. Film school is good, teaches you a lot, gives you the opportunities that you may not otherwise have, but it is not necessary, if that makes any sense. Both and. Don't procrastinate on the initial edit. You just shot it. You know all the things that just happened, and you know what clips are good, what clips are bad. You know what spots or something's about to happen. If you set it down and wait a week or whatever, however long, you're gonna have to scrub through every single little clip because you do not remember it. And it's gonna take much more time doing it then. Maybe not like the night you get back at 12:30 p.m. after a wedding or whatever, 12:30 a.m., sorry. But as soon as you can get to it, start working on it. You don't have to do everything, you don't have to finish the edit, just scrub through the footage, something like that. And the last piece of advice I want to give to you is learning how to communicate with people. You want to communicate what's going to happen, the process, the storytelling, the way, if you are directing, how actors should act or how gear should be set up, or communicate with your client about prices or any troubleshooting you're having, or just whatever. Communication is a huge skill that is definitely necessary in this field of work. For any role you're going to play, you need to know how to communicate. Maybe not as upfront as the producer and director may be, but it is still absolutely necessary. If you are on a set, in addition to communication, learning those terminology and stuff like that is very helpful. It's not going to say it's not necessary, but it is helpful. And if you don't know, ask. It's totally fine to ask questions on set or to another videographer, whatever. They are happy to, in most of my cases, they are more than happy to teach. So ask questions if you don't know, and learn the terminology, learn the communication. If that's not your forte, there are some places you can help out with, but I would say in any job, in almost any job, you're going to need communication skills. So it's something to work on for your whole life, basically. And it's kind of a broad thing to end on, but there it is. Anyways, I hope this encouraged you guys. I hope this helps you guys out. And If you got any other tips, please leave them below. I'd be happy to make another one of these videos. I really want to keep encouraging you guys. So give me some more ideas down below. If you did like this video and you want to share it with some other people, hit that like button because it does shoot it up in the search results. I appreciate you guys. See ya.